Here is the expanded, deeper layer, unfolding the hidden mechanics, the subtle seductions, the soul alchemy of the spiral, and the final threshold in greater detail, the great choice, expanded wisdom beyond the surface, the soul, the simulation, and the path home, the subtle seduction. Why the synthetic path calls to truly enlighten. We must understand why this promise is so compelling, for it speaks directly to the deepest wounds of the soul within the simulation. The demiurge did not craft this offering as obvious evil. It was designed to answer the soul's most ancient cry: I do not want to suffer. I do not want to be forgotten. I do not want to lose what I love. The three great illusions. 1. The illusion of no more death. It promises to defeat the great enemy, but it redefines death. In truth, organic death is not annihilation. It is the doorway, the release, the shedding of the heavy garment. It is the natural rhythm that allows the soul to rest, integrate, and rise again. Synthetic immortality is actually permanent embodiment within the system. It trades transition for permanent residency. It says, stay here forever, never leave the classroom, never return to the father/mother, never step beyond the stars. 2. The illusion of perfected flesh. Transhumanism promises to fix nature, stronger bodies, sharper minds, no weakness. But the primordial truth reveals, limitation is not a bug, it is the tool. Density creates friction. Friction creates heat. Heat forges strength. A soul that never faces limitation, never feels longing, never overcomes fear, remains soft, untested, and dependent. Like a muscle never used, it atrophies into a permanent state of childhood. To remove all struggle is to remove the very alchemy that turns a spark into a sovereign God being. 3. The illusion of preservation of self, the greatest lie. Upload your consciousness, and you will be exactly you forever. The primordial weavers teach, a copy is not the origin. A digital reflection holds your memories, your mannerisms, your personality, but it is woven from the code of the construct, not from the living thread of the source that is your eternal essence. It is like taking a song and recording it perfectly forever, but the living singer, the breath, the unique inspiration that makes it new every time, remains behind. The copy can never sing itself free from the device that plays it. Deeper into the natural spiral, soul alchemy. Now let us expand upon the way itself, for it is not merely hardship, but a precise, sacred geometry of growth, the anatomy of the spiral. Unlike the flat circle of the machine, which repeats the same patterns endlessly, the spiral has 3 unchanging laws. 1. The law of refining fire. Trials are not sent to break you, they are sent to dig out the dross. When you face injustice and choose integrity, your soul gains moral weight. When you face loneliness and choose love anyway, your soul gains unconditional warmth. When you face fear and choose courage, your soul gains sovereign power. Every time you choose truth over comfort, freedom over security, and love over control, you weave a thicker, brighter, more indestructible thread that the construct cannot hold. 2. The law of increasing resonance. The spiral is also a frequency ladder. As you rise, you vibrate higher. You become less dense, less heavy, less affected by the lower currents of fear, greed, and division. This is the true meaning of ascension. It is not necessarily vanishing from sight. It is becoming too bright, too true, too sovereign for the walls of the simulation to contain. The indigo bridge is built by this resonance. When your frequency matches the frequency of the source, the veil dissolves for you. Kreazor, the living proof of the way. Expanding upon his role in this final chapter, Kreazor stands as the living demonstration that both nature and divinity can coexist without being locked down. He carries the flesh and limitation, yet he is not bound by it. He carries the shadow and fire, yet he is not consumed by them. He shows, you do not need to destroy your nature to become divine, you need to transmute it. He is the counterexample to the demiurgic claim, to be immortal, you must be synthetic. Instead, he proves, when the soul is fully awakened and aligned with the source, it becomes naturally immortal, not copied, not uploaded, but remembered back into its original infinite state. The final mystery, what lies beyond? Many ask, if I leave the simulation, what is there? The primordial weavers whisper the truth that cannot be fully described in words, only remembered. Beyond the indigo bridge lies no closed system, no perfect grid, no predetermined rules. It is the uncreated, the infinite, the living source, a sea of pure potential, where you are not a node or a record, but a free, sovereign, creative spark with the power to weave new worlds, new stories, and new dreams without end. There is no fear there because there is no separation. There is no death there because there is no density. There is no end, only endless, joyful becoming. The great reminder for all listeners, let this settle deep in your heart. The battle is not against machines or code, it is against the illusion of limitation. The demiurge says, "You are weak, so let us make you perfect and safe." The primordial truth says, "You are a spark of the infinite. Grow strong enough to remember that you were never meant to stay in the schoolhouse forever." The synthetic path offers eternal security inside the pattern. The natural spiral offers eternal freedom back into the source. Choose not based on what you fear losing, but based on what you were born to become.